All right, and we are back on another part of this fantastic behind the scenes interview. We have some of the key people working on the project becoming one of them. We're talking with myself as a producer. We also have the writer Peter Shaman, the director Lyle Groniger, and the co-producer and assistant director Evan Mead. We're sharing a lot of behind the scenes stories of how we made this project, how it came to be, some of the big challenges and our expectations. So you get to join us and just get a bit of a sneak preview into what it really took to bring this project to life. It definitely wasn't easy, but it was definitely very worthwhile at the same time. All right, so let's hop into the interview. One of the next sort of things I would love for us to talk about is just challenges on the shoot, which, I mean, we could talk about this for like hours. This is like hours and hours and hours and hours. We kind of do need to get cut straight to the point. So how about, let's talk about like the biggest challenge that we noticed from shooting. To me, the biggest challenge, hands down, of the entire shoot was to actually cleaning up the bar.
Yes.
Because
Definitely.
the production designer Danielle, she kind of brought up that there was like this dust that really looked very effective, and went over like, okay, like I've tried cleaning this up, I know what I'm doing. And I mean, she really did know what she was doing. She worked incredibly hard and really tried to plan everything out. I don't think any of us knew exactly the scope of it was going to look like the fact that we're not just covering a single spot that she probably did. We're covering literally an entire room of a bar. This went on all the corners, the walls, the floor, the chairs, the tables. It went, and even for us, like going in and out of that room throughout the entire day, it went everywhere. Like
No, we tracked everywhere. It got on all our shoes.
That's actually one of the things that that's actually one of the unforeseen difficulties that none of us could have predicted. And the bar owners and all of us actually kind of bit off more than we could chew, because we all truly underestimated how long it would take to clean up. But the on camera, like on screen, what you're gonna see when you see the movie, it actually looks like damn near like apocalyptic. The look we wanted is exactly what we got. So
the cleanup was a lot of work, and I feel like transportation as well for a lot of the crew was an issue.
We were super fortunate with that, because I actually was gonna talk, since James and I were kind of like the two principal authority figures on running and coordinating the shoot. I feel like it's appropriate to talk about like just the step-by-step process on getting to the shoot and how it all turned out. First of all, Peter, like I just want to start by saying, since you're here, that like you were like the unsung hero that kind of like saved us all, because typically, dude, when you go to a shoot, in an ideal production, the writer actually just kind of comes and maybe chats with the director and offers like some advice on the way a line could be said, or could even rewrite on the spot if it's needed. But because of our situation, you went above and beyond, and we were just like so grateful for all your support.
I want to get it done. Like I want everyone to see it just as much as you guys do, right? So when all those issues came up, I was like, whatever, I'll just I'll do it, so it just makes everything smoother.
And then once the shoot began, we learned some lessons about transporting equipment, and as a result, we had to shuffle some things around. But High Park, High Park, we got there, and it was a gorgeous day, a little hot, but it was one of those Indian summer kind of days. So we get there and we get out of there. We spent the least amount of time there. Getting out of there was a bit of a hassle because of some factors that we didn't plan accordingly. Like
it was all downhill, and we had so much heavy equipment.
Yeah. In retrospect,
half the crew was late.
Oh yeah.
All right. Or they got lost and stuff.
No, it just cool. We learned a lot about like because High Park is so big, we learned a lot about like nailing down a location and like saying exactly where to go. I think the makeup artists, bless their souls, Crystal and Johanna, they were I think like, you know, there on time and they were ready to go. And even though they didn't have all the resources they needed to work ideally in High Park, they made do like with what they had. So the first day,
it looked great.
The first, yeah, no, and it looked great, and everything everything like was as smoothly as it was. And then second day we had 2 locations in one. We went to the baby store first, and then we went to the house. In my experience, the baby store shoot was probably the smoothest of all our locations, save for a problem with the breaker on the property.
Yeah, we had a power up.
Yeah, one.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it basically, yeah, Z and his AD, no, his AC, Adam, actually were freaking out for about 20 minutes because the circuit fried, and it meant one of our lights had to be ditched. But we worked around it pretty good, and we were in and out of there in pretty good time. And then we went to the house, and
one person who agreed to drive us. We had a contract, we had a plan, like everything was just all good to go. The day should have not run the way it did, but just somehow this driver just disappeared. We couldn't contact him, just completely dropped off the face of the planet. Our actor was waiting about like an hour and a half away to be picked up and be brought to the location. And so essentially, because Peter was there and Peter could drive himself and he had a car, you know, feeling bad because I knew Peter wanted to be there on set to actually, you know, see everything being shot. The only option was I just asked him to just, if he could pick up the actor and bring him there. And he was extremely generous and just like, yeah, sure, fine. Just brought the actor there. The actor was he understood that it wasn't necessarily our fault. Just, it happened. That's all it did.
Yeah. So basically, so we got all our shots and then we retired to the hotel. Now, then the third day, which was our biggest challenge of the whole shoot, was the restaurant. And I'll be honest. Yeah, I'll be honest. So basically, when we were talking about about shooting everything there, and when Lyle and I were planning the shot list, and Z was planning the shot list with us, Z never liked to talk about the idea of a pickup day because, and I agree with that mentality, because you go in and you plan to get everything that you want, and the plan B comes only when it absolutely has to. So like the thing with pickup days is no one ever plans them; they just happen. So
sorry, can I just give a bit of clarity for a sec?
Yeah.
So for those that are watching, what Evan is meaning by a pickup day, initially our plan was that the bulk of the movie was going to be shot on one weekend. And then essentially there was stuff involving a group of zombies where that was also going to be at the bar. And initially we were thinking of all that stuff involving the zombies would be another day. Like whether it just be a fourth day, which was not really going to happen because we were already pushing it with our shoot as it was, or we just do it as what's called a pickup. So that would just be another random day later on. And funny enough, we end up having to do a pickup anyways, but I'll leave Evan to talk about that. And so then Z just suggested, like, look, instead of doing that, let's just shoot everything all in one day. Everything involved in the bar, we just shoot on that one day. Because we also couldn't come in on, let's say, the Saturday when we were done with the park and go and shoot stuff at the bar because the bar had to work and the bar had to make money. So our only option, our one and only option, was all this stuff we were shooting at the bar, which normally should have taken us about 2 days to shoot. We had to really cram it into one whole day.
Yeah.
That was very stressful.
That was one of the that was actually the biggest fear that every crew member was going into this. Well, to make matters more complicated, this bar was in a very fortunate position where they are closed one day of the week, and that's Monday. So Monday was like our only window to shoot. Mm-hmm. And honestly, given their schedule, this was going into like the Halloween and Christmas season, like right after our shoot. So had we not gotten everything that we needed in one day, it would have been extremely challenging, dare I say it, impossible to go in and shoot on a second day. So Z very ambitiously said, let's just do everything in one day. And and to make matters even more complicated with that goal, we had the amount of people realistically that it takes to shoot a complex setup like this. We needed about, I would say, 18 or 20 people to make it all work, and we ended up going in with like 10 or 12. So we were understaffed and we had this crazy ambitious goal, but man, we got, save for a couple inserts, we got everything we needed. And the effort that our crew put over like the 2.5 days of our shoot was Herculean. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Like, everyone did put this Herculean effort to just make everything work, because our shoot was so unorthodox that, put it this way, we're all from film school, and in film school they teach you like a very, very strict way of how to run a set. And of course, like, there have to be some exceptions here and there, but in the case of us, like, we had to, nothing about our set was in accordance with what we were taught in film school. We had to take so many liberties. Stuff took longer to do on each day. The camera team was understaffed. The production, the art department was understaffed. But given everything we had, we did an amazing job. And yeah, I just can't stress that enough. Like, no one, given the way every job on a film set is supposed to be done, no one could do their jobs exactly the way that they were supposed to be done. We had to like make a lot of exceptions with our work ethic, but we all pulled through and we all came like through amazingly. And I think that had we not been as experienced as filmmakers, I feel like that would have compromised our shoot and the shoot would have fallen apart, but it didn't. And I thought that was so beautiful to just see everyone just bringing their A game. And
thanks, Evan. I'm gonna just quickly jump to Lyle and Peter about their
perspective
on one particular challenge that happened on a shoot. Before we go into post-production, I just want to clarify for everyone that's watching this. So it's not that anyone made us have to clean it up multiple times. It's that, again, one of the things that we were not prepared and we didn't fully understand until the day of the shoot was that because so much dust was just literally all over the place, we didn't exactly bring the right material to help clean that up. Because essentially what would just happen was
that's also everywhere.
We'd clean off something like top to bottom, every square inch. The dust would go God knows where, and then would land back on the same spot. So we honestly would have cleaned up that entire room with the amount of people that was there, literally all hands on deck, scrubbing away, including some of the actors, bless their soul. We would have had that entire place spotless within like 30 to 45 minutes, realistically. What made it complicated was the fact that the dust kept returning. So we literally, and I'm not exaggerating, cleaned up every square inch of the main room that you see in the movie at least 5 or 6 times. Every freaking square inch. That's how it happened, and that's why we took a little bit longer with that. So Lyle, Peter, what was one particular challenge that you noticed on the set? And then we're going to start talking about pre-production or post-production.
I think Evan hit the nail on the head. We covered basically all the main challenges we got. So yeah,
the biggest thing for me was just the cleanup and the transportation really was but everything else seemed pretty smooth. I don't know, Lyle had any technical issues, but
well, I mean, we did have a very bare bones crew. It was doing turnarounds were a little bit more time consuming. I remember we spent about 40 to 60 minutes trying to set up the gimbal for the camera while we were doing setup. But that ended up saving time because we were able to shoot a lot faster, especially inside the bar itself. despite our limited crew, and I agree with that 100%. We had the most we had the most dedicated crew that I've seen in a long time, and I was very happy with each and every one of their efforts. And I couldn't have asked for anything better. So I appreciate them, each and every one of them.
We were supposed to film a real baby. We didn't want to go the route of American Sniper, where it's just a dummy baby. We wanted to have like a real living, breathing on screen, and we got really lucky with. Well, first of all, James, you had a friend up in the northern region who had a baby that wanted to come to the set, but life got in the way on the day of, and it's a baby. Babies are notorious for they're not on a union schedule. They're not on our clock. You have to shoot on their time. Sadly, that baby couldn't make it to the set that day, and because the family had another commitment that came up at the last minute.
Yeah, so just shot around it, basically.
The only thing that James talks about pickup days, the thing that we actually had to go back for a couple hours on a day in November was, and we had to do this at a completely like separate location. My friend Kate had a baby, and I asked her, "Hey Kate, do you want baby Robin? Are you comfortable with baby Robin being in a movie?" And she said yes. So we took a couple hours one really cold morning in November, and we shot the baby, all the footage we needed of the baby, and to get all the inserts that we missed out on during the shoot weekend. So that day was all for getting shots of the baby and all for getting inserts, sorry. And we pulled it off beautifully. The footage blends together perfectly, like when you see the finished movie.
Yeah, it worked brilliantly.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this, guys, and if you did, please make sure to smash that like button and share this to other filmmakers who might also draw some inspiration from this. And also make sure you subscribe, because we got the final part of this interview coming out later. You get to hear the rest of our behind the scenes sort of challenges and our discussions. And of course, we got new videos coming out every single week, so you really don't want to miss that. Go check that out, and good luck with your projects, okay? Let me know down in the comments what projects you're working on. All right, I'd be very curious to hear what's going on. All right, good luck, and I'll see you guys next time.